All right, so just and I went back a couple of slides, but I just wanted to reiterate this metamorphic rock. Marble comes from limestone, metamorphized limestone, and then quartz comes from metamorphized sandstone. All right, so remember these are non-foliated type of metamorphic rocks. We already did this one. This is of course metamorphized limestone. All right, so this is where I was just about done with the chapter with chapter 20. All right, so molten rocks, rise from the depths of Earth. They cool, they solidify, and eventually they can return to magma again. That does happen over the course of billions of years. I mean, it's not fixed. Like there's not some certain timeline that says, hey, that you know these rocks have been around long enough. Now it's time for them to turn into magma again. Okay, it's just statistically they have a chance of becoming that. All right. Anyhow, let's start. Where we started originally. Magma, of course, is molten rock underneath the surface, and of course, it can, if it does reach the surface, um, you can have basalt, which is a type of igneous rock. Actually, it's the most common type of igneous rock is basalt. Um, and then the next most popular one is uh, of course granite, right? We encounter granite a whole lot more than we encounter basalt, because most of the basalt you find underneath the ocean, right? That's the ocean floors, right? That's exactly what the ocean floors are made of, is the basalt. All right, and then we found that igneous rock can once it's formed over the course of time, you could have weathering that takes place, and so um, it can break apart, and then of course if there's living creatures, or plant life or creatures around, then you get you get these the pebbles and so forth that are created from the weathering, and the sometimes the material as well will eventually cause this igneous rock, or the remains of the igneous rock from the remains from the weathering to form what's called sedimentary rock, right? So you get sediments forming, and then lithification is the rock forming. That's the actual process where the material cements, and then of course the pressure compacts it, and so you will eventually get sedimentary rock, right? The igneous rock doesn't have to become sedimentary rock. That can happen. Um, and then of course sedimentary rock can be exposed even close to the Earth's surface. It can be exposed to a good deal of heat. If some magma rose, and it just happens to be nearby, there can be this contact metamorphism where the sedimentary rock can change. Of course, there could be just normal igneous rock sitting around, and just through this increase in pressure and temperature, I mean, might not have become sedimentary rock. It could have just been igneous rock. And then that if that increase in temperature and pressure will cause metamorphic rock to occur. And any of it, if there's once again, and this is really important to emphasize, any of these, igneous rock, sedimentary rock, or metamorphic rock itself, if given enough heat and pressure, high enough heat and pressure, where it melts. Once it melts, it becomes magma again. And so, like basically the idea here, metamorphic rock, it doesn't fully melt. There's some evidence of the rock before the crystalline structure before the rock metamorphosized, right? Once it truly melts in any of these forms, right? Once it truly melts, there's no evidence. You can't distinguish between melted metamorphic rock, melted sedimentary rock, or melted igneous rock. You have no idea, because then it's just magma, right? And if that magma solidifies again, crystallizes again, then you have igneous rock forming, right? So that's the rock cycle. The thing that drives this is really the subject of the next chapters, right? This is all about what's called plate tectonics, the motion that takes place with the crust of the earth. The crust of the earth is basically riding on these plates, these large plates. Sometimes the plates crash into each other and cause volcanic activity and earthquake activity. Like along what's called the San Andreas Fault. That's a very famous fault line that runs up and down California. All right, so that's the end of the chapter, and we'll move on to chapter 21.